Hey everyone, welcome back. I am so excited to share with you that the Women on the Move series, alongside Men in Motion, is officially back. So, moving forward, you can expect to receive doses of empowerment every second and fourth Friday of each month. Today's feature with Lynn Jensen is about a single day where everything changed and you won't want to miss a second of it. If you believe in driving access, inclusion, and representation across media, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And now let's listen to Lynn's story.
For me, January 26, 1997 is one of those dates you just never forget. It's the day I lost all of my sight suddenly and unexpectedly, but it's also the day my family was told I had 2 to 3 months to live. To this day, my 93-year-old father says that was the worst day of his life. I always respond, "Dad, it was my luckiest." My name is Lynn Jensen. I am a registered nurse, a certified vision rehabilitation therapist, and a new author. For 24 years, I worked at a vision rehabilitation center in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Today, I'm an independent consultant, delivering skills training to individuals and groups, both virtually and in person. I live with my family and my new and retired guide dogs in Port Moody, a suburb of Vancouver. In January 1997, I was just 27 years old. I had graduated with honors from the University of British Columbia School of Nursing 8 months earlier. For years, I had lived with chronic pain. The pain got progressively worse, and I had to stop working a month earlier. On that afternoon in January, my mom got extremely frustrated, and she decided to pack me up in the car and drive to emergency. Soon after I arrived, I coded, meaning I stopped breathing. After several tests and emergency surgery, my family was told I had a brain tumor. After more surgery, it became clear I had a lot of work ahead of me. The first item on my agenda: learn to walk again. This might sound strange, but having something else to focus on helped me cope with my sight loss. I was so grateful to be alive. If that day had unfolded any differently, I wouldn't be here. I've always considered my blindness to be a sort of booby prize. Soon after discharge, I began the vision rehabilitation process. A few weeks into training, I remember telling my teacher, I want to be a good blind person. In other words, if I'm going to do this, I want to be good at it. A year and a half later, I was introduced to another young woman who lost all of her sight 9 months after I did. Looking back, Courtney and I didn't have much in common besides our sight loss and our fierce determination. But we spoke on the phone almost every day, sharing our challenges, our frustrations, and more importantly, our accomplishments. We were learning so much as we worked to regain our independence. I remember telling Courtney about my Mary Tyler Moore moment. It was my first time traveling independently with a white cane to the Vision Rehabilitation Center in Vancouver. My orientation and mobility instructor was a short distance behind me. On my way back out the doors, I pretended to throw my beret up in the air and I sang, "You're gonna make it after all." I know I shouldn't sing. My journey with sight loss has taken me to places I never would have imagined in my previous sighted life. For instance, I now have a career I absolutely love in a field I didn't even know existed. And then there are the 4 amazing guide dogs I've had over the years. I'll admit, I'm not a dog person. I don't know how my first guide dog found her way into my home and my heart, but I'm sure glad she did. And now I have 2. And finally, my book. I had no intention of writing a book. For years, I wrote an anonymous independent living skills advice column called Izzy's Tips for Independent Living. I really enjoyed sharing the tips I'd learned through personal experience and training as a vision professional. When a coworker asked if I would take time to write a short list of travel tips for people who are blind or have low vision, I jumped at the chance. But as it turned out, it wasn't a short list. In February, I launched my debut book, Best Kept Secrets for Travelers with Sight Loss. I attribute my success to my incredible family and friends, especially my identical twin sister, Laura. Over the years, Laura and I have shed a lot of tears, but we've also laughed a lot. You can find yourself in some funny situations when you can't see, but you don't always see the humor at first. I also credit a personality trait I inherited from both of my parents. My dad in particular. I'm a stubborn bitch. One of the last times I drove, I was behind a bus with an advertisement showing a group of young children with various disabilities. One child used a wheelchair, one wore leg braces, and one held a white cane. The word disabled was scrolled across the top, but the dis was crossed out and replaced with differently. At the time, I didn't know why that message felt so impactful. In hindsight, I believe I was meant to see it. It is a reminder to me to embrace my differences, to stand tall, be bold, be blind, and be beautiful.